Live from all over this beautiful land, this is the Testosterone Zone with the fine men, Noel, Keith, and Steve. Take it, boys!
Hey, welcome everybody back to the Testosterone Zone podcast. And in this latest edition, we are chock full of interesting stories. We've talked about man foods. This is a tack food story. And we also have a very special guest on. This is actually, guys, our first true listener who has decided to join us as a guest on the episode. And awesome. we are going to learn some cool crafting today with him. And so I cannot wait to introduce him. But first of all, got to introduce my buds. Steve, how's it going?
Going good. How are you?
Doing good. I thought maybe you fell. I didn't know. So
he's stunned.
It's like
you took me off guard. I was like, we don't do this.
Like, is this mic on? So
he's checking his shirt. Is that my name? That's
I was reading this. I was reading the article.
Oh, like, he's looking down at his shirt. It's upside down. It's like, my name is Yvette's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Noel, awesome. You good? You good, Noel?
I'm good.
Okay,
yep, I'm good.
I could say Leon. You know that one. It's part of your trademark. So that's good. And welcome, Tanner. Welcome to our episode. We're glad you're here, man.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I'm really glad to have you on. So sorry, I didn't mean to throw Steve off. I apologize. I'll never do that again. So, but yes, I mean, seriously, you're talking about. I mean, you've done some good man food episodes like the ones you've done recently, but this takes food to the extreme. And so, tell us a little about the extreme food. I mean, this is definitely not a way to do the man food. This is a way to do like war.
Exactly.
So, explain.
Exactly. So, we've all been to baseball games, football games where they have those T-shirt launchers and all that stuff. And oh yeah, the Philadelphia Phillies, they actually launched hot dogs from their cannon. And if you've ever seen the Philly Fanatic, that is their mascot. Is probably one of the more entertaining mascots in the major leagues. Anyway, they like as I mentioned, they launch hot dogs from this cannon, and to make sure the hot dogs don't disintegrate in midair, they actually wrap some duct tape around it. So anyway, so you can already tell where it's going, right? So anyway, so up until this event, this instance, there had never been any injuries. Well, there was this one lady that was in the stands, and she was in a position where she has a shoulder injury. So she saw the hot dog coming towards her, but she couldn't physically react to it to deflect the hot dog. So in case this hot dog smacked her square in the face, and to the point that gave her a mild concussion, and of course, when anything bad happens, then you got to stop doing it. And so for the time being, the hot dog cannon has been suspended from Phillies games until further investigation. But yeah,
all fun and games until somebody gets hit in the face with the hot dog.
I'm telling you, that's crazy.
That's like taking a food fight to a brand new level.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. But this one's actually sort of funny. And,
yeah, it is.
You always wonder if stuff like that happens. Like, now I'm wondering like who's got a concussion from a T-shirt and those type of things. Cause those things come out at a pretty high rate of speed.
Yeah. Really my daughter's high school, they bought one of those, the cannons to shoot like promotional items and stuff to the fans in the stands during the game. In the first game, they did not do any practicing or anything, and they did not know how fast that thing or how powerful those guns were. And thankfully, they shot it over everybody, but they shot this football way out of the stands. And I mean, it was picking up speed as it was flying over the top row. So, I mean, it was everybody was like, whoa, okay, well, we need to pay attention so we don't die from a
no kidding.
And it was pretty funny.
But Tanner, what do you think?
I have a question for Steve there.
Sure.
So, you think that can is strong enough to launch a hot dog into Uranus?
It's possible. It is possible. And picking up like he's been here all his life. Nice.
All right.
It's funny I'll talk about this cannon. I actually built a cannon I have in my shop.
Okay. Tell us about this, because we've tried to. We've already discussed a flamethrower jetpack. So what kind of cannon is this you're talking about?
It's just an air cannon I built to shoot T-shirts out when I was through high school.
No way.
Yeah, and I use it to shoot dog tennis balls now.
Oh, that's a good idea. How far can that sucker launch a tennis ball?
Easily a couple 100 yards.
Holy cow.
Can you imagine?
My dog would be like, looks like you got yourself a problem. I'm not running that so far.
It's okay. Jethro will be back by morning. So,
okay, well, there goes the day. Yeah. My gosh.
Planes are dodging. It's awesome. So.
Needs a little bit more power.
So right there, you already know this guy's crafty, right? So Tanner, welcome to the episode, man. We're really glad to have you.
Well, I'm glad to be here. This is fun.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're really glad you're on. You were the one that was responsible for the first time we told the joke about Christmas and Star Wars, right? So Steve liked it so much he repeated it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I heard it that first day. I was like, that guy. I want to get a hold of
him. He comes around the other day. It's like, dude, what's with people stealing my jokes? I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun. So, that's okay. That's all right. It's like you said, Steve, as many as we're doing, we're bound to have that happen. So no big deal. Hey guys, Keith here. Listen, just wanted to let you know of an awesome new promotion that we have exclusive for our awesome listeners of the Testosterone Zone. If you recall, back in episode 21, we reviewed a subscription box website for men called bespokepost.com. Well, the awesome folks over at bespokepost.com have offered you, our exclusive listeners, a discount code. If you subscribe to www.bespokepost.com and use the discount code TZONE20, that's all caps TZONE 20, you'll receive 20% off your first subscription box. So go over to www.bespokepost.com and subscribe today. So Tanner, we've kind of gone through a summer episode. So we've done everything from, what are some travel plans you have? What are some tricks and tips that we did with Jaffo on how to take a really good picture so you can have some good vacation memories? Recently, we also had John, our police, or I guess his police chief or assistant police chief, right, of police in Lubbock. Hey, he gave us some tips and tricks on home safety. So we've done a lot of things about traveling and everything, but in the middle of the summer months like we're in right now, people are starting to kind of get back and starting to kind of maybe do some projects around the house, maybe do some projects that they can kind of enjoy the good old outdoors if they want to be outside while it's still nice and barbecue. And so what you have introduced to me is a really unique pergola. And so what I'd like to, there's a lot of folks that listen to this that are just trying to figure out how to do woodworking, how to do craftsmanship. And I know that you're really, really good at that. And so I'd like for you to take us on a journey kind of what do you think in a shop, if you were going to get started in a shop, what would be some essential things that you would want to get started with woodworking or craftsmanship, something of that sort? And then talk us through about how you were building this pergola that's just completely awesome, the pictures I've seen. So go ahead. We're turning this over to you.
Okay. We'll start with the shop. When I built my shop when we first moved here, the first thing I had to have was a good solid workbench, something that I could beat on with a hammer and it wasn't going to move on me. Wouldn't worry about it falling apart. And as of tools, if you're getting started, basic hand tools, hand saws. I mean, later you can get more expensive chop saws and high dollar equipment, but try to stick to your hand tools when you're getting started just for costly reasons.
Okay, so if I had to have 5 essential hand tools, what would they be?
You'll have to have you a claw hammer for sure.
Okay.
Just a regular hacksaw.
Okay.
Any kind of hand saw, basically. A hand sander, basically a block you turn into a sander.
Okay.
Some chisels, Chisels are usually handy when you're trying to make joints.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the kind for construction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure that's clear.
Yeah, we're just clarifying for
in Colorado.
That might be an after.
For our Colorado listeners. I'm kidding.
They're all out buying chisels right now.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we got to get some of those.
Oh, really? Never done those. Anyway, we're back.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
No, the most important would be a measuring tape. I carry that for anything I'm doing.
Okay.
When you're not worried about that'll just shift on you.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a good essential thing of getting started. That's awesome. So you built your first craft table, right?
Yes, actually it was after me and my wife first got married, I believe. She got for my birthday all the supplies and stuff. She went and bought the lumber and all that. So I built it out of that.
She was actually wanting a shoe cabinet, but you built a shop bench.
Yeah, that was probably right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool. So talk us around how did you decide? And, obviously you do a lot of building. What was the first couple of things that you built that really got you interested in this craft?
To building, I started when I was little. I guess boxes. Boxes have always been the easiest thing, I guess. But I still can't make a square box to this day, according to my father. He tells me that's all I can make is a unsquare box. So I'm very good at that.
It's a rectangle box. It's okay. It's supposed to be a trappa box, like a trapezoid. No big deal.
Right.
I make a lot of those.
Oh boy, I don't even try. I just throw it in a cardboard box. It's all good. So okay. So then you've gotten. I mean, you've built like gardening. You're working on fences. Your home, basically, you guys pretty much built.
Yes, we did. We had the house built for the most part. We did all the fence work, anything outside. I ran all the electrical in my house, along with the heating and AC.
Wow.
We did all that ourselves.
Wow. Yeah. I did too. No, I didn't. I'm totally kidding. I was trying to replace the light in our office bathroom yesterday, and I just gave up and put it back and just replaced the bulb in a broken one. So it was good enough for me. So.
That'll work.
I still don't even know how to take the freaking wire out of the dumb thing. But anyway, it's some kind of old timey thing. I think I just have to saw it off. I'm going to borrow your hacksaw.
That's fine.
Anyway, so basically, you've decided to design something. You're really working hard on your yard right now, and I know that you've built a really good garden area that we've talked or we've heard about, but also is this pergola you designed. And like I say, for outdoors this time of year, you definitely, especially in Texas where we are, and I don't know about Alaska, maybe there's a heat wave in maybe one day, but you definitely want some shade out there if you're enjoying in the day. Especially my house, our backyard faces east, so we're just beat down the whole day. So I really like the idea of what you built. And so Noel and Steve, You've got the picture in front of you. So kind of walk us through, you've got a unique spin on it. And I'd like for you to kind of walk us through how you came up with the idea of using the materials you did and kind of how this all came together.
What's funny about the materials, it's we try to go the cheapest way we could. We actually, the base of it's out of brick. We just used brick that was left over from the construction of the house, and we built a solid foundation with sand and gravel so the water ran off, and we put the brick on top and filled gravel in between all the bricks, like mortar.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay.
That was a good idea.
And it looks like you have a fire pit kind of in the middle. I do too.
Yes.
So is that just kind of like it looks almost like a trough, or what is that?
It's just a galvanized ring. I tried to find one everywhere. Ended up being able to get one at Home Depot or Lowe's. Actually had one.
Oh, really?
So I just ended up digging a hole and just setting it halfway in there.
Great idea.
Okay.
Interesting.
So
good idea.
Yeah, it really is. And so, okay, so then outside of that, now you're starting to build the structure. So you had a unique idea for what you were going to use for the posts.
Yeah, I ended up using actual telephone poles. My grandfather's an electrician, so he had spare telephone poles laying around.
That's awesome.
So those were also free.
They're all over the road too. If you just drive by out there and take one or two.
Yeah, I could do that too.
But if somebody sees you could get shocked. I'm just telling you. So you gotta make sure there's a power outage in the area. So
shocking experience.
Yeah. So there's rules to how deep you want to put these things when you're putting them in. So tell me how did you set these?
Right. Just because they are I don't not advise that you put concrete around the base, but I dug it 3 feet each on each one with post hole diggers.
Okay.
And I set them 3 foot deep, and I also concreted them in for stability. But you don't need to concrete them in because they're so big. Just like the ones on the highway, they're not concreted in.
Yeah. Okay. But you went ahead and did it just because we know how West Texas winds can go. Yeah. He's a victim of the haboobs too.
I don't want the next person to live here and have to put up with getting them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes me grin.
It makes it a little more fun that way. So okay, so you got 4. So now, were these each? Did you cut telephone poles in half, or?
I had them cut long enough to fit on my trailer, which is about 16 foot. They are not that tall. They're all different lengths at the time, but they're heavy. So I ended up placing them all on the ground and using a chainsaw and climbing on a ladder and cutting them all level.
That's awesome.
That's a good idea.
So the next tool I need to get is a chainsaw. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Gotta have a chainsaw.
That's right. And so now cross beams and everything else. Tell us more about those materials, what you used.
Yeah, the main lateral beams that are holding up the rafters on top are actually just whitewood that I bought at a local lumber store.
Okay.
Those are 20-foot length. I shaped those before I put them up and stained and waterproofed them with Thompson water seal.
So how did you shape them? What did you use?
I just used a jigsaw.
Oh, okay.
I had my wife draw a design she wanted on the ends of it, as you can see, and I just cut it out with the jigsaw, routed the edges so there wouldn't be any sharp edges on them.
Right.
And we sanded it a little bit, not much, and just seal coated them with the stain she wanted and waterproofed them.
Awesome. Okay. And then from there, bolting. What kind of bolts do you use? Just what was the length of them?
They were about 4 inches long.
Yeah, because that post is a big sucker. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I needed 4 inches, but I didn't want to take any chances either.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's cool. Okay. And then just at the top now, it looks like there's just some 2x4s. Is that what that is?
Those are actually 1x3s, I believe. Or 1x4s, I'm sorry. They're actually 3.5 inches.
Okay, yeah, so they are a little thinner. Okay, I got you.
But yeah, the same idea. Just stain and seal them before you put them up there.
Right. So you did everything. You stained and everything before you put them in. So that way, no matter what holes you drilled, there wasn't any gaps. If you had a washer that was covering it, it was already done.
Yes, that was my idea. I guess you don't have to do it that way. You can do it after you get it up. But I figured I can do it on the ground easier than I walk along a ladder.
Yeah. Okay, and that makes sense. And then at the top, you have just another. What is that? A 1x2 or 1x3 on the top of them, just for extra shade.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir. Those are running flat across here, just help give an extra shade.
And so, how far apart did you set these?
The top ones were about, I'd have to say, 4.5 inches apart, I think.
Okay. And then what about the 1x4s? How far apart are those?
Those are looking at about 19 inches.
It looks like there's 13 of them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I think my math is right. That's
cool. It looks good. So all in all, about how long did it take you to build this?
We did it. Actually, it took technically, if you want to get 2 years, because she did all the work on the ground with the brick and everything last summer.
Okay.
And then we're like, we'll just put something else out here. So I ended up going back, pulling up some of the bricks, and putting the pergola in. That took a couple of weekends just because I didn't do it all in one weekend due to scheduling issues.
Right.
And get material. Yeah, life.
Life gets in the way when you're making other plans. Like they say, life's what happens when you're busy making other plans, right?
A lot of it, if you end up doing anything like this, we use whitewood because it's, again, cheap, but they do make cedar, which would have probably tripled or quadrupled the cost of the materials to do this.
Okay.
So cedar is a more weather-resistant wood.
But I think with the water seal, like you're saying, that should help it pretty good.
Yeah, it should help it a lot. I figure next summer I'll go back and just brush up some more on there.
Yeah.
By hand, just to help.
Yeah, just to top it off every year before it gets too hot.
You can use diesel too.
No way.
Yeah, because diesel's an oil. So you pour stain into a pump-up spray with diesel, and you can spray your fence or any wood to help seal it.
Okay, did y'all know that? I didn't know that.
I've seen people that they take a propane tank and like a little torch and actually lightly torch the wood, and it darkens the color of it, but it turns to a natural seal. And I'm convinced whenever I have the time and the energy to do something like Tanner did, I'm going to do it that way, because it's you're starting to see it in home designs and stuff like that. A lot of patio designs. It's a pretty
make it look more rustic, maybe.
Exactly. It's really cool looking.
So do they do that a lot up there? Are a lot of homes up there doing that?
I've seen it.
I don't know if I guess I haven't paid attention, but that's cool.
Whenever your wife likes watching HGTV, unfortunately, you learn this stuff. But
Fixer Upper's coming back.
We actually have a neighbor that recently did this as well, and I really like the look of it. And I was sort of skeptical, but it rains so much here, the water actually beads up on it, and so there, he didn't put any sealant on it or anything. It's just, basically torched it a little bit. It's pretty impressive.
That is really cool. That's a good idea. I don't think I've never heard of that. So, have you ever done that, Tanner? Have you done any like torching or the?
I've seen it done. I've never done anything like that myself. I got a cutting torch I could try it with, but I haven't had any projects to do that with quite yet.
Yeah, that's cool. What's your next project? What are you going to do next?
Well, right now I've got a small little project I'm just playing with in my shop. I turn bowls, like wooden bowls. I make bowls.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
So, I mean, how do you start with just a block, or how does it work?
I make what I've been making is called segmented bowls, and I take, let's say, a 1x, and I cut it down to 1 inches wide, and I cut it into 12 individual blocks, about an inch at a 25-degree angle to make a circle, and I glue them together.
Oh, that's cool.
And I do that over and over and over till I have so many sets.
Yeah.
And then I glue those on top of each other. Then I use my lathe and I turn them down. Nice. It's a very long process.
That's awesome, though. Golly. Yeah, you've got to be patient to do something like that.
Yeah, that's where you lose me.
Yeah.
Noel's ADD kicks in. Then he calls me like, "What you doing?" Well, I was working on a project, but you got something better for me,
That's right. Anything.
Noel has a luxury going to IKEA and buying those Danish-looking bowls.
That's right. Yeah. Who needs to build when you got an IKEA 5 minutes from your house, right?
That's right.
It's the IKEA way of shop building. That's cool. So, the pre-drilled holes and the screws. That's the way I roll,
That's right. Hey, man, those instructions are not easy, man. That's serious business.
They really are.
Ever try to put together IKEA furniture? You have to have a degree to do that stuff. So.
The bad news is once we post this picture on Twitter, the city's going to be coming back for their missing street signs.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. She bought them somewhere. I'm like, "Are you sure those are legal?"
I want to keep that bill of sale.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, if we see a story in the news, we got some bail money for you. Don't worry. So, I just sent you guys some shots of the bowls he's making. Y'all see them?
Yeah, I really like that second one.
God, those are awesome.
I know. It's
Holy cow! That is not what I pictured in my head.
I didn't either.
Dang.
That's pretty impressive. So, I mean, you literally are piecing these pieces together.
Right. Every little individual piece glued together. You make each row is a section, so I have to glue them all together, let those sit and dry, sand them flat, then glue another piece on top at a different angle. So and let it dry before you can do anything.
How long does each one of these take?
It depends on the size and how much time I have, but usually I can
post a picture of this one. What about this one in the picture that's stained already?
What color is it?
It's the reddish one.
That's actually not stained. That's cedar.
Oh, cedar. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So how long would it take to build that?
That took me probably about 4 days just for gluing and waiting and drying.
That is freaking awesame, though. That is beautiful. If you saw mine, it would be like an unsanded, get a splinter in your mouth soup bowl that's a dent.
It's leaking out of it.
Yeah. I mean, that would be about as good as I have. But I'd probably like poke my eye out with that or something. But speaking of poke your eye out, I have a story.
All right.
Yeah. Well, two pirates, Morty and Soul, meet in a bar, right? Soul has a patch over his one eye, a hook for a hand, and a wooden peg leg. "Ye gads, matey," says Morty. "What happened to you?" Well, Saul says, "My pirate ship was attacked, and a lucky shot lopped off my leg. Now I got me a wooden peg." And he said, "And your hand?" asked Marty. "When me ship sank, a shark bit me hand off. Now I got me a hook." "Okay, but what's with the eye patch?" "Well, I was standing on a dock, and the biggest seagull I ever saw poops right in me eye." And the guy goes, "Well, that's bad, but you don't really go blind from no seagull poop." He goes, "True," says Saul, but it was me first day with the hook.
Hey, speaking of seagulls, guys, why do seagulls fly over the sea?
Because if they flew over a bay, they would be a bagel.
Did we do that one before?
I've read it before. That's awesome.
How ironic, though, that you tell a joke about seagull poop and I follow it with a seagull
That was
joke.
awesome. I should have just let you run with it. Dang it.
Thanks, Keith.
Do you have another seagull,
for
seagull
y'all
joke?
It's more fun when y'all get to screw up my jokes. So
yeah,
that's sort of like the testosterone tradition.
It really kind of is fun.
Speaking of a tradition, do you guys know why all the trees in Texas lean east?
Why?
Because Louisiana sucks.
Definitely.
That's right,
Louisiana. We're talking about you again until you start listening. It's going all week long.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That was awesome, Noel. All right. Now, Tanner, you can't be on the show without having one served up, and you say you got one.
Oh, yeah, because I went and bought some shoes today from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day.
I love that.
Okay, that was a good one.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Nice job.
Very well done.
No, or Steve, you have another one? It sounded like you were.
So I don't have another one, but I just wanted to share a little fact. At the time of this recording, I know we're all Astros fans. I can't speak for Tanner, but right now, best record in the major leagues, first team to 50 wins, and they're probably going to put probably 4 or 5 on the All-Star team at this rate.
Yeah, that's they're staying where they were last year, weren't they? That's a good thing.
I saw some statistic, or they were comparing records of teams that won the World Series and then the year after, what their record was after 72 games. Like the last 5 teams have all been like 5 games over 500, 3 games over 500, 2 games over 500. There were a few that were actually sub 500 records after 72 games. The Astros were 21 games over 500 after 72 games. So they are far ahead of where the other teams have been in their year after they won the World Series. So
maybe stand and do a little repeat.
Yeah, man, I would love it. God, that'd be so awesome.
That would be cool.
Totally.
So
no kidding. Well, listen, guys, we're getting close to that 30-minute hour, and that's what we were trying to say. We were kind of try to keep them under that. So, any last thoughts, Tanner? Thank you for being on. Any last thoughts for you? Any other things that maybe you didn't mention that you want to talk to us about that we kind of, we try to get kind of concise. So we might have cut you off. What other things do you have? Any other advice?
No, y'all are good. I don't think I have anything else. I appreciate the time.
Man, you know what? We are really, we're totally impressed with your crafts. And if you have other ideas that you're working on, we'd love to listen to share those with our audience. And we will definitely, if it's okay with you, we'll post this pergola and also this cup on here, because they're amazing. You do great work.
So those are amazing. Those are awesome.
Yeah, thanks for sharing those with us, man.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get some pins out to the rest of you.
Yeah,
say it again.
I'll see if I can't get y'all some pins made, send out to Alaska and down in Houston.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, he makes some seriously cool pins.
Awesome.
So, that'd be awesome. So,
and Tanner got to experience the delay. I just thought of that.
Yeah.
You can actually hear the delay in Steve's microphone, so you kind of hear why Keith and I are laughing all the time. It's kind of funny, isn't it?
It is. I catch some of the words. I'm like, did he say what I thought he said?
Yeah, exactly. You have to think about it a little bit. Like, just think real slow, and you can get there. So,
that's Alaska for you.
That's right.
Easy slow.
Oh man! All right. Well, Steve, why don't you take us on out with those slurred speeches?
Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Hope you're all having a great summer, and thanks for continuing to join us. Everybody have a great day.
We appreciate everybody listening.
Take care, guys.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the Testosterone Zone. We sure had a blast visiting with you. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, leave us some feedback, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
All Testosterone Zone podcast episodes are written and produced by Noel, Keith, and Steve, unless otherwise noted.
The opinions expressed in the Testosterone podcast are our own and not those of our employers, families, parents, kids, dogs, cats, your mom, or any other entity Noel, Keith, or Steve are affiliated with now, in the past, or in the future, or ever.